My lords, Article 26 protects the right to own property. However, much as that article is not protected under Article 44.
My question was kindly. Okay, we understand there are circumstances where actually that right can be done away with. So can you spell out what government has to do before that right is done away with?
Yes, my lords, when the government is to acquire private land, they're supposed to compensate prior and adequately. However, it's our argument that this land is no ordinary land, your lordship.
So you mean the shifting of whatever it is to another place, is it not adequate?
It's not adequate, your lordship, because
Why?
This is a spiritual ground and it is attached to a specific geographical location and it cannot be shifted.
So if government chooses to construct a flyover over that, whatever it is, won't the ecosystem be done away with to allow you practice whatever you want to practice in that area?
My lords, spiritual matters, if we look at the study of St. Thomas Aquinas of the natural schools of thought in his Summa Theologica, he clearly stated that natural law is divine law, and therefore violation of the same has sanctions that may actually not be clear.
I have no further questions, you can proceed.
Much obliged, my lord.
No.
My lord, on this, in the case of Semwanga and others versus Kitaka and others, Consolidated Civil Appeal number 226 and 227 of 2022, the Court of Appeal clearly stated that demolition of the St. Peter's Anglican Ndeba Church was a violation of Article 29, a violation of right to practice religion.
Counsel, before you continue, excuse the clerk, does he still have time? How many minutes? Okay, proceed.
Was a violation and was termed as a sacrilege. Your lordships, I pray that I bring to the attention of court that the weight that an Anglican church has is the same weight under the constitution that a sacred spiritual cultural ground has. Therefore, I invite this court to find that this ground is incapable of relocation. My lords, I pray that I proceed and submit our ground 4, which I shall be.
Make a prayer for that. Make a prayer.
It is therefore our prayer that this honorable court finds that the Kigwa sacred grounds is incapable of relocation. I pray that the court finds that the right to free, prior, and informed public participation was not carried out, and I pray that the flaws in the environmental and social impact assessment and administrative regularities violated the citizens' constitutional rights. And I pray that the encroachment on protected ecosystems under the public trust doctrine was a gross violation of the public trust doctrine by the state.
Kindly summarize your last issue.
My lords, summarizing my ground 4, which is the ultra-vires alienation of public trust land via a 99-year lease, I find that the court ruled that statutory bodies, in the case of asset procurement insurance company versus Attorney General, Civil Appeal number 12 of 2014, that court cannot execute agreement that override express legislative prohibitions. Your Lordship, is our submission that the fact that the lease that the government is intending to lease to Chanja Holdings is a violation of this right, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, statutory violation of the Public-Private Partnership Act, we bring to the attention of this honorable court that the bypass of mandatory oversight mechanism established by law under Section 4 of the Public-Private Partnership Act requires that all major infrastructure concessions should undergo a strict value for money audits and receive parliamentary approval. My lords, in our fact, we don't see any of that happening. The lordships, in general procurement services versus means of infrastructure and another, it was held that infrastructural contracts that circumvent statutory transparency checks are illegal. And your lordships, it is our prayer and submission that the state cannot use the act to avoid the financial and environmental accountability measures. And I pray that this honorable court may not be part of such an illegality. Your lordships, as I conclude on the failure of the proportionality test, the trial judge applied an incorrect standard by ruling that the project's projected economic interest.
Counsel, you think you know the law more than the judge? So kindly withdraw the statement that you've stated.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. I recognize the judge is the expert of all experts. I accordingly withdraw.
Thank you.
Much obliged, my lord. My lord, to limit constitutional rights as I conclude for a public project, the state must show that its measures are necessary and they choose a least restrictive option and avoid causing disproportionate harm.
Counsel, did you address a mind in the case of Charles Onyango?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Proceed with it. And the limitation test that you're citing.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, in the case of Charles Onyango, the government, the court was very clear that if at all a protected constitutional right must be violated, it should be in line with the given law. And therefore, we pray that all these rights that have been violated with impunity from the state, and they have not been given any compensations, and they have not followed the rightful procedures. We beg to submit. Your Lordship, it's therefore our prayer that this honorable court allows this appeal and find that all our grounds are with merit, sets aside the entire judgment of the High Court and orders of the court. My lords, I pray for a few seconds as I conclude.
Please conclude.
Much obliged. I pray that this honorable court issues an order quashing the decision of the government and the NEMA regarding the project, and issue prohibition that the government and Kanja Holdings and all their agents do not proceed with any development that violates our ecosystem, and award such other further relief that this honorable court deems fit.
All right, thank you.
I humbly pray.
Thank you.
Much obliged.
From the colleague here, you traveled to come and feel the AC here. Kindly tell court something. But in the next mood, you should make sure that you have a jacket. But I'll permit you to tell us something.
Sorry for interjecting. I think you can make a rebuttal. Okay.
Yes, in a minute, tell us something.
Much obliged, Your Excellencies. Much obliged, my lords. In this moot, I'm actually a researcher.
Yeah, that's good.
And,
that means you know the
What's
case.
your name?
I would like to explain the facts.
First tell us your name.
For the record, my name is Chera Ronnie David. And I want to tell you the summary of the facts.
In a minute.
The Republic of Gonja, in some years, it experienced population increase and hence a rapid increase in urbanization, and for that reason, it put in place the Greater Hatala Integrated
Much obliged, my lords. Once again for record. Once again for record, my name is Onesimus Nasasra, and I'm from the chambers of the Attorney General.
What is your team code?
LLM 2026